What is up, the YouTube Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk a little bit about why I think an altcoin will take Bitcoin's #1 position on coin market cap, or we can say why. And now I mainly think in just the market cap, in just that kind of section. Why I think an altcoin will surpass Bitcoin. Um, so this is a very interesting kind of topic. Mm, Be in this crypto space for around 2 years now, you kind of get you kind of get an overall view of it, and the more you sort of educate yourself on all of this, the more it just seems to make sense. So already right now we have had, I think, 4 close calls. So Ethereum was very close at surpass Bitcoin in 2007. And then we did have XRP, which I don't like, but they were also very close at surpass Bitcoin. And then we had what else? Bitcoin Cash was very close. And now we can almost say that, well, if BSV does say 22x, then it would be able to surpass. And if we consider, I mean, this space can change rather fast. So yeah, I'm not into BSV either, but I'm just saying what I think will happen. That an altcoin will probably surpass Bitcoin. And it's like, imagine if Bitcoin went down to it's already been down to 3K. So go down to 2K or 1K. I mean, it's not really that far off that it has the potential to happen. And then, for example, BSV right now is like $400. So some flippenings can happen rather quick in this industry. So, and the main reason why I think an altcoin will surpass Bitcoin is mainly because I don't see. The only thing I see with Bitcoin is people saying the same kind of nonsense, repeating the same kind of terms that doesn't really seem to make sense. This idea that the herd is coming, or this idea that adoption of Bitcoin is coming. When you're actually diving into the industry, you see that it's only exchanges that are hoarding Bitcoin and getting rich off of it from the fees. And then you start to dive deeper into some other stats. And then you see, well, people that bought Bitcoin in mid 2013, they're only up 87x in, what is it, like 7 or 8 years? Now, in this crypto industry, now, you should understand that 87x, so the most of the gains was the first few years. 2013 was already late. So right now, Bitcoin is up 870,000x if we go from, let's say, 1 cent. So, and now I see people are super impressed if it goes up 10x, because for them they see it almost like a guarantee. It's gonna easy 10x, even though it takes millions of dollars just to just to double the value. And a 10x, that's way more than double the value. Maybe you need a couple of billion. I mean, that's a lot of value. There's a lot of money that needs to come from somewhere. And you start to dive deeper into this and you see, oh, wait a sec, only an 87x. So it's gone up 870,000x at the moment with $8,700. But most of that was in the first couple of years. And already mid 2013 is kind of late, because then it was already $100. So they didn't even make 100x in 7 or 8 years. So you kind of consider it, and it's like, okay, if they bought late 2013 at the high, they would only be up 8x, 8 or 9x. in 7 or 8 years. I mean, that is pretty lame. If we talk about crypto, I mean, when it does so high that, it's like, it's very interesting when you start to dive deeper into the numbers. And when I discovered Steam, for example, 2018, so obvious that there's like better technology, because it's like, oh, you can create your own money. That's kind of cool. You can't do that with Bitcoin. Like, you have to just wait and hope for someone to pump it, but you can't create value yourself. It's pretty lame, to be honest. And even if you want to get some people into this, the exchanges are like the new mafia. So they are, you know, so it's so weird when people are promoting these exchanges that are like kind of shady and they're like making all the money, and no one is like holding their own sort of Bitcoin. Because obviously, because people realize with Bitcoin it's kind of lame to just hold it because nothing is happening. Like, you can't just sit on it and like earn more Bitcoin, because you're not earning the interest. Only the miners are getting it. So it's like, it makes sense that people eventually then get bored and either buy an altcoin, or they try to use some weird margin trading. Oh wow, I can do 125x margin trading. I mean, it's like people get bored and they either buy an altcoin, or they like buy, or they do this margin trading thing, because that's like the only thing you can do with this. Uh, so we look at this altcoin industry at the moment, and that it already has, like, it's starting to have some things that are getting better. Like, there's some games that are using it. There are some social media services like Steam that are using it, and people are really getting used to it, and they're getting used to the idea of earning altcoins. And people are not getting used to the idea of earning bitcoins, because you can't do that. So that's kind of like interesting. So when it's this early, and some people already are starting to earn altcoins daily, and they're not never gonna earn Bitcoin. And you look at the so-called Lightning Network, which only have around $10 million in it in funds. It's like, oh, the Bitcoin is so decentralized that no one has enough money to buy some ads or do some cool marketing, and like $10 million in just Lightning Network. And it's like, why would we even need Lightning Network when you can just send a transaction on Steam, without even fees? It's like, it seems like the value is not really the digital cash aspect, because the way people are sort of using Steam blockchain is they're getting votes, and like people set up automated systems and do most of that automated. So most of the value is not from digital cash, but it's more about just printing new value, and yeah, printing new value basically. So that's kind of like interesting. Mm, yeah. So one thing I also would say then is, when an altcoin overtakes Bitcoin, which I think will happen, then altcoins are not really altcoins anymore. Like, they don't need to have that status anymore. I mean, they are something else. Like, are something. They don't need to have this like label that almost make it sound like it's something worse, because they cease to be altcoins when they surpass Bitcoin, because then they surpass the veteran, the first one, and then it's like, whoa, now anything's possible. So yeah, I mean, mm, of course something exciting can change with Bitcoin, but like maybe some cool developer thing, but it doesn't really seem like it. It seems like all the exciting things either happen in Ethereum or on Steam, or something with the EOS, or something even with like, no, I don't want to mention them. But yeah, it doesn't seem like that much exciting happens with Bitcoin. The last update was maybe 2 years ago or like 3 years ago, some software update. It had some real bugs. Yeah, I mean, if not that much cool happened with Bitcoin from 2013 to 2020, why would something super exciting happen the next few years? I mean, the price, yes, the price can still go up, but it sort of seems like other stuff will find better game theory and better business models and get real adoption, and that then eventually whatever coin or coins those are, it seems like they're eventually going to outcompete something that just is doing nothing. And still, I mean, it's great code in some ways, so everything can still go up, right? But I think that projects that are using real developers and get real humans involved in something, and real humans using proof of brain, developers or video creators, content creators, those systems, it seems like they are getting more energy, more mass, and that eventually is going to get to a critical mass event where they have so much energy because humans are energy, and that eventually those will uh, just become more interesting stuff, and that should eventually then just overtake Bitcoin. I mean, that's at least what it seems to be, to for me seems to be making a lot of sense. The only thing that kind of slows down it at the moment, if I look at it, is that people are sitting on old smartphones, old devices, they're using old technology. It's mainly that people used to have old devices, and that when they get better devices, they want better apps. Maybe they have more time to explore something new. So when they do more exploration, I really think more and more people are just gonna move into the alts, and even with the alts, yes, most 99% of this is probably something that's not needed really. But a few alts will really do well. I mean, I think, and we don't really need that many successful alts. Like we need a few that makes people's life better or satisfy something or has some utility or whatever. So it's like we don't need thousands and thousands of projects that is a success. Just a couple that are filling some human needs. Like that's enough, right? So yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. So yeah, to summarize, I think some alt or many alts eventually will surpass Bitcoin when it comes to market cap. For me, I'm just looking at it in many ways because I sort of see it as with AI and machine learning that eventually is going to replace humans need to do stuff like with automation and so on. So that eventually should be able to create better systems also that can like reach way higher in market cap. And market cap, it's not everything. So in some ways, I also mean this in many ways that I mean, I already see it right now as like projects that have more adoption. I would say Steam has more adoption because more real humans, more little guys are using it on a day-to-day basis. And there are also games that already have thousands of users. They're using it today, and they're like earning those alt tokens. So it seems like they already have more adoption. So yeah, it's there are many ways to look at it. But yeah, I mean, everything is about expanding borders of ignorance and becoming more intelligent and learn more. So, so we always try to learn more, right? And that's kind of like cool things about this sort of industry. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to follow this industry and sort of see what works and what doesn't work. I may be wrong, I may be right, who knows? But yeah, it's kind of cool. Have a great day, DTube and Steam blockchain. And I should also say that this video comes from, I have actually done a video on YouTube that has received 148 million views, pouring Coca-Cola on a phone. So maybe I know what I'm talking about. Maybe I know some tricks. Because I did that video 2016. There's not a single phone video that has more views at the moment than that video, and I put zero effort into marketing it. I I only did a video, it's 40 minutes long, 140 million views. Maybe I know what I'm talking about, because it seems like some stuff that I'm doing seems to be working out. That's kind of cool, right? Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about. Have a great day, YouTube, and the Steam blockchain. Bye bye.